Shalom and good day all, and welcome to Super Sun's Fortress of Attitude comic review of issue 3 of Robin by Joshua Williamson, art by Gleb Malnikov, and of course some Guerrero, who's also helping out too. So starting in the first things first, as you can see, we've got two covers here in relation to this Robin run and story, covering one of my favourites of the Super Sons, Damian Wayne. Well, I must admit, this story has certainly improved along the way, especially since issue 2. I think issue 2 was better than issue 1, and I still stand by that. And so now it's time to move into issue 3. And as you can see, I've got both the variant, or I've got the regular and the variant, to which I'll now give the quick rating for both before I move internal into the art for its rating. Starting off with the cover art for the trade, for the regular trade dress, to which I gave it an 8 out of 10. For the variant, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoy what both of these encompass, especially with Damian in what happens within the story. It does actually cover what happens. It does actually cover that as does seem to happen in the story. And 7.5 for the variant, which I think is more of a homage in regards to Connor Hawke's background and who he's related to. Now, time to move into the internal art, to which I'll show you some art around the beginning, middle and end. This is some of the art around the beginning. Actually, one thing I really like about what happened in this story is that it did help the focus on Damian in this story run, but also some of the things that he is also experiencing on Lazarus Island. Now, this is directly in the middle of the story, and I must admit, this was probably one of the best parts of this story that I really enjoyed before, well, dusk came in and interfered what was happening. And yeah, I'll get to that once I cover the story, the area of the story. Now to move towards the end. And this is it towards the end. The rating for this art, I gave a 7.5 out of 10, as I really enjoyed it and it was consistent all the way through. Time to move into the next things that I also enjoy about my story. And they are the 4 key aspects that I enjoy in pretty much every story that I like to review on the channel. And that is starting off with time, like when things taking place in time of day. Afraid it wasn't pointed out, but let's move on to the rest and how it affected the story rating. Did we get any comic references? Surprisingly, we did, and I really enjoyed that. Moving into location, of course, we're still on Lazarus Island, and we ended up encountering Soulcliff Beach, to which you also saw Damian spending a little bit of time with Ravager there, but we also had the appearance of Flatline. We had Connor Hawke make his appearance. The League of Shadows made their appearance. We had Master Dusk, and last but not least, the appearance of Ra's al Ghul. One thing I want to point out though, and I must be honest about this, well, gotta be colourful about this. Or, well, not so much. Is the colourful side of things is for the Rainbow Press and Comics side. But for the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude, okay, what's my attitude in relation to some of the things that were brought up in the discussions which Damien had in relation to Ravager? Well, I feel that there were some things that Joshua Williamson really left out in regards to, number one, of course we did have the thing pointed out that yes, John Samuel Kent had been aged up. That was really good. That was good, that was honest. But he was missing a point when he moved into the area of the Teen Titans. And I know because I read that particular run, and it's the Percy run. And I do enjoy the Percy run. Yes, even though it did start off slightly terrible, but it did get better along the way, because you did actually see Damien's character grow, because he felt like he had to take responsibility because Tim Drake wasn't around to run Teen Titans, so he felt that it was now his. Taking account of that, it was also the time of his 13th birthday party, to which his mother, Talia al Ghul, turned up. That's right, Talia al Ghul turned up, and she warned him of basically an impending threat, to which, yes, even though his methods of getting the Teen Titans together would not be considered orthodox, more so a little bit unorthodox, but who's not to say that Batman or even Talia al Ghul has actually done things very unorthodox, to which I'm pretty sure they both have at some time or another. Hey, it's the kid's parents. What the hell do you expect? To which the impending threat led to, that's right, Ra's al Ghul coming back into the picture once again. And it had to do with Damian Wayne and, of course, one of his cousins, or a cousin of his, to which there was basically a setup, in a way, competition by Ra's al Ghul as to sort of like who will be the one that will be running the League of Assassins, or to be the true heir. Of course, Damien did win that, but he won it by means of basically using an Al Ghul strategy back on an Al Ghul. And plus with a little bit of Batman strategy in it too. To which, in a way, he also became a hero in that first arc. Like, literally became a hero in that first arc. No, Joshua Williamson might not acknowledge it. I am going to acknowledge it. As, even though some people you do get some people that don't like Damian Wayne Robin, but you also get people like myself who enjoy the Super Sons, whatever else, that do love the character of Damian Wayne Robin. And yes, that his old man is actually Batman. You know, his old gal might be Talia al Ghul. So in that particular reference needed more context, and it was missing in there. But moving into the next part, did it really affect the rest of the story and where it's actually moving to? Well, a little bit. It did sort of like lose 2 points only for that, to which it would have almost scored 10 out of 10 for the story. And because it lost 2 points, it actually made it to 8 out of 10. I'm looking forward to what will happen next when Damien catches up with his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, in this. And something seems to indicate that maybe he's had a change of heart, but every time Ra's seems to imply that he's had a change of heart, it's all a facade. But my question is this legit change of heart in what's happening with him? Or is it a facade? Well, we'll see you again at Super Sun's Fortress of Attitude, to which the next thing I should be reviewing on the channel for this particular playlist for the Super Sun's Fortress of Attitude, I think is the Truth and Justice issue 6. I might be wrong in that, so do stay tuned. Though it might also be the beginning of Superman, Son of Kal-El. But I think that also falls on the same time with the next Robin issue. I might be wrong in that. Well, until then, this is the Super Sun's Fortress of Attitude, and welcome to the Fortress of Attitude.